More than 700,000 people moved to the UK in just 1 year, the highest ever recorded. But that era may be ending. The UK has just introduced its biggest immigration overhaul in decades, and the changes are hitting harder than anyone expected. Can you still bring your family as a care worker? Is your job offer enough to get a visa? And what if you've already made plans? Are they now at risk? These new rules are rewriting the pathway to live, work, or settle in the UK. Some visa routes are shrinking, others are quietly disappearing, and your next move could mean the difference between approval or rejection. Everything is changing, and fast. Let's break it all down. Number 1. Salary thresholds have increased. The UK government has introduced a significant rise in the minimum salary threshold for skilled worker visas, now set at £38,700, compared to the previous £26,200. This change applies to most new visa applicants and is part of a broader plan to reduce net migration and ensure that only roles with higher pay and skill levels are eligible for sponsorship. For applicants working in sectors that traditionally offer lower wages, such as hospitality, retail, or entry-level health roles, this change poses a serious barrier to entry. Many job offers that once met the visa salary requirement will now fall short, disqualifying large groups of potential workers. This change also directly affects UK employers, especially those who rely heavily on foreign workers to fill labor gaps. Companies must now pay significantly more to remain eligible to sponsor overseas talent, forcing some small and medium-sized businesses to either raise salaries or withdraw sponsorship offers entirely. The policy shift may lead to increased competition among employers for skilled workers who meet the new threshold, especially in areas like engineering, IT, and healthcare management. Job seekers must now ensure their contract terms and pay scales meet the updated Home Office criteria to avoid visa denials. Applicants with job offers below this new figure may explore exceptions, such as those with PhDs, roles on the immigration salary list, or positions within the health and care worker route. However, these exceptions are now fewer and more selective than before. Anyone planning to move to the UK for work must verify their occupation code, check the eligibility rules, and confirm their annual pay aligns with new visa expectations. Staying informed is no longer optional. It's essential for success under the current immigration framework. Number 2. Shortage occupation list is being replaced. The traditional shortage occupation list, SOL, long used to offer lower salary thresholds and visa fee discounts for in-demand jobs, is now being phased out. In its place, the government has introduced a more restrictive system called the Immigration Salary List, ISEL. While the ISEL still highlights roles that are essential to the UK economy, it comes with fewer benefits and a narrower scope. The 20% salary discount previously offered under SOL has been significantly reduced, meaning that many applicants who once qualified under lower pay bands will no longer meet the new standards. This change is designed to tighten the eligibility criteria for migration and limit the number of foreign workers entering the UK under economic-based visas. For example, some job roles previously listed, such as chefs, care assistants, or welders, may either be removed or face stricter entry rules. The new ISEL prioritizes sectors with genuine, long-term skill shortages, and even then, salary discounts are limited to specific cases. This creates added pressure on both employers and migrants to navigate the updated rules with precision and clarity. Employers must now justify the need for sponsorship more carefully, providing evidence that the role cannot be filled by the domestic workforce. Applicants, on the other hand, will need to double-check whether their occupation still qualifies and if it benefits from any salary reduction. If not, they must meet the full salary threshold, which is now £38,700 for most roles. This transition away from the SOL marks a tougher era in UK immigration, where only the highest priority jobs receive government flexibility. Understanding how this impacts your visa route is critical for moving forward with confidence. Number 3. No more family dependence for care workers. A major shift has taken place for those applying under the health and care worker visa. Care workers and home carers are now no longer allowed to bring family dependents with them to the UK. This includes spouses, partners, and children, which were previously permitted under the old rules. Only those in higher-level roles, such as care managers or senior professionals, are now eligible to bring dependents. The government claims this policy aims to curb rising migration numbers and ensure the visa is used strictly for its intended purpose, filling essential care roles, not as a route to wider family migration. For thousands of aspiring workers, especially from countries like India, Nigeria, and the Philippines, this presents a serious dilemma. Many applicants chose the UK because of the family-friendly visa pathway. Now, without the ability to relocate with loved ones, some may reconsider their options or seek employment in other countries offering more flexible terms. This change could also have unintended consequences for the UK's already strained care sector, which has long relied on international recruitment to fill labor gaps in elderly and disability care. Employers may face higher turnover rates, as workers hesitate to accept positions that demand long periods away from their families. For those still considering the UK, it's essential to understand that only specific care-related roles qualify under this visa, and even fewer now provide the option to sponsor dependents. If you're aiming for a job in this sector, make sure to review your job title, visa type, and eligibility for dependents. Missing this detail could mean having to reapply under a different route, delaying your plans, and increasing your costs significantly. Number 4. Skilled worker points remain unchanged, but it's not what it seems. At first glance, the points-based system for skilled worker visas looks the same. 70 points are still required to qualify. But here's the catch. The criteria to earn those points have become much harder to meet. While the structure hasn't changed on paper, the rise in salary thresholds, the tightening of eligible occupations, and the phasing out of the shortage occupation list mean that fewer applicants will actually qualify under the new system. It's a subtle change with major consequences for anyone hoping to live and work in the UK. For example, 20 points are awarded for having a sponsorship offer, 20 more for meeting the job skill level, and 10 for meeting the English language requirement. That's 50 points. The final 20 used to be easier to gain through lower salaries for shortage jobs or academic qualifications like PhDs. Now, with the minimum salary rising to £38,700, most applicants will struggle to meet the final 20 points unless they're in high-paying roles. Jobs that once qualified easily, like junior chefs, warehouse workers, or entry-level IT support staff, may no longer earn enough points. This change affects both applicants and employers. Applicants must ensure their job offer, salary, and sponsorship align perfectly with the new standards. Employers, in turn, must review whether the roles they offer still meet the eligibility criteria before issuing a certificate of sponsorship. Misunderstanding the new system could lead to visa refusals, lost application fees, and missed job opportunities. So while the 70-point rule technically remains, its practical application has shifted dramatically, making it more important than ever to analyze every detail before applying. Number 5. Student visa rules tighten for family members. The UK has implemented stricter rules for international students, specifically targeting the ability to bring family dependents. Under the new regulation, only students enrolled in PhD programs or other research-based postgraduate courses can bring their spouses or children. Those studying taught master's degrees, undergraduate programs, or short-term courses are no longer eligible to include dependents in their visa applications. This change is designed to reduce migration figures and address concerns that the student route was being used as a gateway for entire families to settle in the UK. This adjustment impacts students from countries where family relocation is a priority, such as India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and parts of West Africa. Many students had planned to pursue education in the UK as a way to provide better opportunities for their families. Now, they must either leave loved ones behind or reconsider their study plans entirely. Universities, too, are likely to feel the ripple effects, especially those that rely heavily on international enrollment. With fewer applicants willing to study abroad without their families, institutions may see a drop in admissions and face pressure to support students in new ways. For current and prospective students, the key is to understand your course type and visa eligibility before applying. If your course doesn't qualify under the new rules, there's no workaround. Your dependents simply won't be allowed. Those who qualify must still prove they have sufficient financial resources to support family members during their stay. Ignoring these changes could lead to visa rejections, delays, or even being barred from future applications. Staying informed and planning ahead is now a vital part of every student's journey to the UK. Number 6. Stricter English language tests. The UK has rolled out tougher English language requirements across multiple visa categories, aiming to ensure that migrants can integrate more effectively into society and contribute meaningfully to the economy. Whether you're applying for a skilled worker visa, a student visa, or even a family visa, expect higher minimum scores on accepted tests like IELTS, TOEFL, or Secure English Language Tests, CELTS. Some visa types now require higher-level speaking and writing skills, especially for roles involving public interaction or customer-facing tasks. These changes may seem subtle, but their impact is huge. Many applicants who previously passed English tests at lower bands will now find their scores no longer valid. For instance, a score of IELTS 4.0 that once qualified for certain job roles may now fall below the new requirement. Retesting can be expensive, and prep time adds weeks, sometimes months, to the application process. If your current certification is older than 2 years, you may need to retake the test, even if your score was acceptable when first issued. For applicants from countries where English is not the primary language, this change adds another hurdle to an already competitive process. If you're preparing to apply, book your test early and aim for scores well above the minimum, especially in speaking and writing sections. Remember that poor performance in just one area can now invalidate your entire application. Also, check if your education history, such as a degree taught in English, qualifies as an alternative to testing. These updated standards are here to stay, and overlooking them could mean automatic rejection, even if all other visa criteria are met. Preparing early is not just smart, it's now absolutely necessary. Number 7. Graduate Route under review. The popular graduate route, introduced in 2021, currently allows international students to stay in the UK for up to 2 years after graduation, or 3 years for PhD holders, to work or look for employment. This post-study work option quickly became a key selling point for studying in the UK. But now, the government has announced that this route is under active review, raising uncertainty about its future availability and terms of use. The review focuses on concerns that the graduate route is being used by low-skilled workers and is not delivering the economic value it was intended to create. One of the possible changes being considered includes adding salary or job level thresholds during the post-study period. This means graduates may be required to find graduate-level roles within a certain time frame, or face the risk of losing their right to remain. Another proposal suggests shortening the length of the post-study visa itself, which would drastically reduce the window for job hunting and relocation planning. These proposed restrictions aim to ensure the route is used only by those contributing at a higher economic and skill level. For current students and recent graduates, this uncertainty creates a time-sensitive challenge. If you're relying on the graduate route as your pathway to UK employment, you must stay informed and act quickly. Secure a job offer, apply for a skilled worker visa, or build a career plan within the existing timeframe. Universities are urging students to utilize career services and improve employability before graduation. If changes are implemented, they will likely apply to future applicants, not those already on the route, but that can change. The window to act may be closing fast, and preparation has never been more critical. Number 8. Sponsor licenses face more compliance audits. The UK Home Office is now stepping up compliance audits for businesses holding a sponsor license, placing greater scrutiny on how companies manage their sponsored foreign workers. This means more unannounced visits, more demands for detailed records, and tougher penalties for noncompliance. The government is targeting ghost sponsorships, cases where companies sponsor individuals who either don't show up for work or are not performing the duties outlined in their visa paperwork. The goal is to ensure the integrity of the sponsorship system and to stop abuse of the immigration framework. Employers are now required to maintain meticulous HR systems that track each sponsored worker's start dates, job titles, salary, work location, and any changes in duties. Even minor oversights, like not reporting a job title change, can lead to warnings, license suspension, or even revocation. The consequences are serious. If a license is revoked, all current sponsored workers could lose their visa status and be forced to leave the UK. Companies also risk being blacklisted, which would bar them from sponsoring again in the future. For businesses relying on foreign talent, now is the time to review all internal systems Ensure every certificate of sponsorship issued is justified, and double-check that all employee records are up to date. Staff responsible for compliance must understand their obligations fully. Employers should also consider training sessions for HR teams or external audits to avoid penalties. If you're a migrant being sponsored, it's important to be aware of your employer's responsibilities too. If their license is revoked due to non-compliance, your visa will be canceled, regardless of your performance or conduct. These changes reinforce that immigration compliance is no longer optional. It's a daily business priority. Number 9. Net migration target now a central priority. The UK government has officially made reducing net migration a central pillar of its immigration policy. After migration figures hit record highs, over 700,000 net migrants in recent years, pressure from the public and political leaders has driven the Home Office to introduce aggressive reforms. These changes are no longer isolated tweaks. They represent a coordinated effort to cut the overall number of people entering and settling in the UK. Every new policy, from salary thresholds to dependent restrictions, now reflects this overarching mission to lower long-term migration figures. This shift affects all visa routes: work, student, family, and humanitarian, with the government evaluating each one based on its impact on net migration. For example, the removal of dependent rights for care workers, the phasing out of the shortage occupation list, and the ongoing review of the graduate route are all part of this new, target-driven strategy. Policymakers are focused not only on who enters the UK but also on who stays long-term, leading to stricter criteria for extensions, settlement, and naturalization. These cumulative changes are designed to create a more controlled, selective immigration system. For prospective migrants, this means adapting to a system that is changing frequently and sometimes without much warning. It's no longer enough to meet the minimum criteria. Timing, job role, salary, and visa route all play into your likelihood of success. Employers, students, and families must now treat immigration plans as dynamic, not fixed, adjusting quickly to evolving rules. Delaying your application by even a few months could mean facing completely different requirements. Staying up to date with Home Office announcements is now a critical survival skill for anyone engaging with the UK immigration system. Number 10. Settlement requirements are harder to meet. Reaching indefinite leave to remain, ILR, also known as UK settlement, has become significantly more challenging under the latest immigration reforms. While the basic requirement of 5 continuous years in the UK remains, the criteria surrounding absences, income verification, and legal status maintenance are now far more stringent. Applicants must provide precise documentation of their stay, prove they've met consistent salary thresholds, and avoid unauthorized gaps in employment or residency. Even minor errors in documentation or unexplained time spent abroad could lead to application refusals. One major adjustment involves the enforcement of strict absence limits. If you spent more than 180 days outside the UK in any 12-month period, you may reset your eligibility clock, even if those trips were for family emergencies or business reasons. Additionally, applicants now face deeper checks into the continuity of employment, meaning you must show not just job history but evidence of lawful earnings, often through pay slips, tax records, and bank statements. For those on skilled worker visas, failing to meet the required salary for even a few months could disqualify your ILR application. Families aiming to settle together must now ensure that all dependents also meet the updated conditions, including passing the Life in the UK test and, in some cases, proving English language proficiency. These requirements apply even if the children have been in the UK since a young age. The message is clear. Settlement is no longer a passive benefit of long-term residence. It must be earned and verified with precision. Anyone planning to apply must begin gathering documents early, track their residency history carefully, and consider professional advice to avoid costly mistakes that could delay their pathway to a permanent future in the UK. The latest UK immigration changes are not just updates. They're a complete reshaping of how people come to live, work, and build a future in the United Kingdom. From higher salary thresholds to the loss of dependent rights, each new rule has deep implications that could either unlock new opportunities or close doors for thousands. Whether you're a skilled worker, student, employer, or someone with long-term plans to settle, it's now more important than ever to stay fully informed and plan with absolute precision. These reforms reflect a larger national strategy, one focused on reducing net migration, increasing compliance, and prioritizing economic contribution over entry volume. It's no longer about just meeting visa criteria. It's about proving your value, intent, and eligibility at every stage. What used to be flexible is now being tightly controlled, and even minor mistakes can cause major setbacks. So what does this mean for you? It means acting fast, staying updated, and making well-calculated decisions. It means reviewing your job offers, checking if your occupation still qualifies, and making sure you have the right documents and scores, because the rules have changed, and they're changing again soon. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these changes shocked you the most? Drop your opinions or questions in the comments. Your story might help someone else too. We put a lot of research, time, and care into bringing you these updates. So if you found this video helpful, please support us by clicking that subscribe button. It's free, it's fast, and it means the world to us. Just one click, and you'll never miss an update again.